Today, we're going to be talking about Google Meet breakout rooms. The purpose of this session is to show you how to use them and chat about some ways that you can use them and some best practices. The first way, you have joined this Meet from a calendar invite. In the future, the way you join the Meet do breakout rooms from the calendar and Google Classroom will be a little different. As of now, it is exactly the same. So right now, this will look exactly the same. For anybody just joining or anybody watching after, you can find this slide deck at bit.ly/EBR breakout. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Bonnie Chalette. I'm a technology facilitator for East Baton Rouge Parish School System. I work mostly with high schools, but everybody, I like working with everybody. I'm just assigned to the high schools. If you need me after this for any reason, this is my email. If you're into the Edu Twitter yet, you can follow me at Bonnie Chalette. And then this is my website. It's also underneath my email signature. I do have all of the Google badges. So if you need any, if you're looking to get any, I can help you find some resources for that. So just to review, this slide deck is kind of broken up. This will be like your table of contents. And so we're going to create the breakout rooms, look at the different options, how to use them. This is when we'll kind of dive in. I'm going to give you some additional resources, and then we'll wrap everything up. Does anybody have any questions before we start? In the chat. Donna, if you make sure you're not pinned. See if you have a pin, it might show up. I'm not sure. Yes, but thanks, Ms. Walker, for letting me know. And yeah, and tell me if it's not showing up.
Yeah, I'm not pinned, and all I see is another participant's screen with their letter on it. I can't see anything that you're showing.
So do you have that person pinned? If you look under part over here.
Not that I know of, but I'll look. Let's see.
Right. And that's that nice bulk admit feature in Google Classroom if you haven't seen it. Yeah, let me know, Don. I'm not sure. So I think everybody else can see mine. And if you maybe need to leave and come back.
Yeah, maybe. Let me try that. Okay.
Right. So let's dive into creating the breakout rooms. I will also be the bearer of bad news with all of your questions too and tell you what you cannot do. So let me know if you have a question about, can I do this? I'm going to be very honest. So as of now, you cannot do them in advance through Google Classroom. To create the breakout rooms, you need to click on this symbol. If you have a cute nickname for those shapes, I'm all in. I don't have one yet. So first, you'll have to be in a Meet. So that will be step one. You have to be in a Meet. And so I am in this Meet, and this is, I can see all of my people here. And then I click on these three shapes in the top right. Oh, glad, Donna. Good. Okay, so I've got breakout rooms, polls, and Q&A, and we can talk about polls and Q&A in a second. But breakout rooms is why we're here. So all I do is click on that button. I can see all of the people that are in the main call. So this is everybody in this group right now. Now, to set up my breakout rooms, I am going to click that pencil. It has some default settings. Google is always trying to read your mind, so it set me up with 13 rooms, but I can change that number. It just divided everybody up into different numbers. So you can see right here, say I want 3 rooms, and it just kind of guesses what teachers might want. It's just trying to help you. So I can select my number of rooms. I can set a timer. And you can just set it where it will end those breakout rooms. Now, you don't have to set a timer. Obviously, I would always set a timer because like to make sure I'm on track and to make sure my students, it hits the button for me. But if you've got a different way of doing it, if you don't mind, like, you know, kind of, if you're going to do it for an extended period of time or something, that's fine as well. I do have this nifty shuffle button. I taught middle school, so I am aware that they all hate each other. And so if I, off the bat, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work at all, I can just hit the shuffle button. And it'll kind of move people around for me. Now, if I'm like, oh no, Francis and Calvin do not get along, I can drag and drop people and move them around like manually as well. So I think that's a neat feature because, like I said, you always have those two kids that like cannot be around each other for whatever reason they have decided. Hey, Mr. McGee. So I've got my number of rooms, got my timer, I've got my shuffle, and then I've got clear. And when I hit clear, it just moves everybody back into the main call. Because so say something was a mess, I didn't like it, I was like, I need to just start over. I can hit that clear button, and then I can hit shuffle again, and it'll mix it up. So if for some reason you want to just start from scratch, you would hit that button. So any questions about those features? All right. Oh, hey, Miss Hester, how are you? So if you guys want, I was going to go ahead and set a very, very short, I've never done this with 60 people demonstration. So we've got 61 people in this call. So we are going to break them up. We'll do like 11 groups. I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes. And then, see my menu here is holding it. And then I'm going to hit open room. So if we're all ready, it's going to send you to these rooms. And then we can come back to the main call so you can see it from a student perspective. All right. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. So you guys are all going to get, you'll see it at the top. It's going to say you've been put in this room. Oh, look at y'all all going to rooms. Hey, Miss Haney. Dr. Haney, I'm so sorry. All right. Hey, Miss Knight. I am going to.
Hi, friend.
All right. And so I have the option to close all of those rooms. Those of you who came back for me, I have a button that says close rooms now. So even if I didn't set a timer, if I wanted to close them, I hit close room now. Everybody can see this banner. They get 30 seconds, and then they all come back to this main room. And those of you who are back, you can see the rooms. I have the option to join each room myself as well. So I can pop in and out and monitor their conversation as needed. So, like I said, thanks for everybody's coming back. I'm so glad. And we're almost all here. But like I said, for those of you who are just coming back, you can see right next to each room, I have the option to join it. So I can jump in, be either fly on the wall or, kind of try to foster discussion or just check in, because I know those two kids might not be working. I have that option as well. So I think I've got everybody back. And so if you have some students, and so now I am back here at my main screen with my pencil. Anybody have any questions? Okay. All right, Ms. Bailey, I'm going to do the sign-in form at the end. Yeah. Okay, so I totally understand the concerns about monitoring. I know it makes me nervous too. To join a room, to monitor, you can join it by clicking the join button and go into that room. So let's jump into the next thing we're going to talk about is kind of those options and when you're using them. So and then we're going to kind of jump into that monitoring thing. So there's a few ways you can do this. It will not record the meets from Google Classroom individually. If you do it this way, you can't go in and record them all separately. I do have a friend she doesn't teach any VR, but she uses Google Calendar links and has it divided up. That way she can record, but that's a whole nother session and much harder to do. So there aren't little buttons for that. So if you're really interested in recording, we can talk about your options. But recording doesn't happen in breakout rooms this way. It only records that main call. Now, if you want to join multiple rooms at a time, so you want to have your kids have their cameras on and you want to have all these different rooms pulled up on your screen like this person, I would suggest an extension like Mute Tab. You can see I have it right here. Built into Chrome is a mute site option, but if I've got 4 Google Meets up and I want to mute just some of them, I can use this extension. But monitoring, I know, is definitely something everybody's concerned with. I would start with just 1 or 2 groups and see how it goes. You definitely want to have, jobs in your groups. And I'll talk more about that in a second. But as of now, you can't record breakout rooms this way. All right. So that's pretty straightforward. Those are the rooms. So we talked about setting them up. We showed, going into them and then coming back. Like I said, I know monitoring is a concern. I don't have a super solution. I know it is great. And I know I've got students I've got a teacher at Glen Oaks who's fantastic at using it for his face-to-face students and virtual students to foster and engage those virtual students, because it's something we're all struggling with across the board. So that is a cool, and like Ms. Perkins said, it's really worth it to get those students working together in those small groups. But that would be how you monitor the groups. You have to join each group and you can leave and come back. And if you have you've joined multiple meets, you would need some kind of extension, or you would hear them all at once. And if you want to hear, if you can work, you work in classroom, if you can hear them all at once and that wouldn't bother you, then you wouldn't need the extension at all. So I've got some just additional resources right here. This is an article from Edutopia. This is a teacher who is currently using breakout rooms. And she wrote how she does them. So if you're okay, well, now I get how to do it, what are some implementation strategies? Here are just some 7 tips from a teacher who is currently using them. She's not an administrator. She's in the classroom. And so something she starts with is she always starts with sentence stems. Like I said, she does things a little different. She is not going through the meet in Google Classroom all the time. Sometimes she creates different links on Calendar. The only thing is, like, that link doesn't die. So like if kids, you gotta trust your kids not to go there after hours, after school hours and hang out. Google is pushing out an End Meet for All button, but it is not here yet, but it is coming, they say, very soon. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we'll be able to end these meets and kill that link so kids can't go back there. Definitely volunteers are something you'd want to utilize in these, like a timekeeper or anything like that. And then making sure you have like a shared document, like a gray space, scratch paper. I know Jamboard has been really good because Jamboard is now built into Google Meet, and it's super cool. And Jamboard, the features are just rolling out slowly. We've got some really cool trainings on that. We offer them pretty regularly, but if you need any help with that, you want to integrate that, let me know. Progress trackers for projects to keep them on task, to be like, hey, are we still working this? Have we done this? There's actually a really good progress tracker on Sheets where you can check off like what you've done and what you haven't, just in the templates, like you don't have to make it. And then having specific jobs. And they're even right here are built into some like classroom roles. Somebody already made the slides for you if you would like to use something like that. So these are just like some tips and strategies for when you want to use it in your classroom. Right, I'm gonna hop back in the chat. Yeah, okay, Ms. Perkins, that is an awesome idea. Like putting them in meets and then go using that Go Guardian. Like I said, I know monitoring is getting better, and Google's trying to keep up. But when we get that End Meet for All button, it is going to be good times. And then this is a video I made right here. If you forget any of the Google Meet stuff or your PLC, this is me walking through all the things in Google Meet in 7 minutes. Hey, thanks so much for coming. Really want you to reach out to me if you have any questions, and please let me know if you have any cool ways that you're using Google Meet Breakout Rooms in your classroom. You can always find me at bchelette@ebrschools.org. Thanks, and see you soon.